And then I went over to my manager pretty much straight away, and he said, you know, that's it, you've done it, like you've won the overall. And then from that point I didn't know whether to like laugh or cry or like sit down or stand up. I was just like,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, this you crazy mother.
Well, we've just left the airport, we're on the way to Stellenbosch. I've been coming here the last couple of years, this is my third time here, and come here for a training camp just to get a bit of time on the bike and some nice weather before Christmas. It's a treat for us Brits to come out to South Africa and train in the winter when I guess at home it's cold and miserable, and to come out here and it's completely different. It's 28 degrees now, brilliant food, brilliant drink, company's amazing, some great trails. I guess moving into next year, it's kind of a bit of a slightly different attitude towards it. I feel like I'm the one with the target on my back now, and I've got to kind of prove that I can do it and I can be at the top, and I just need to now show that it wasn't a fluke and I can be consistently there year on year. So the motivation for training is huge as always, and but for sure it's a different mindset to where I was 12 months ago. Morning, we're just going to have breakfast and then head to Deluxe Coffee. It's a nice way to start the day, go and see the Cannondale boys, and then head off to the gym. Yeah, it's pretty easy sat here in December in the sun to see why I'd like to come to Stellenbosch to do my training in the winter. It's great to be able to escape the UK winter and ride a great trail network and train in the sun. I realised within a couple of days of first coming here how easy it is to train. First you just get up in the morning, you have some breakfast, and then you put your shorts and your t-shirt on and you go for a bike ride. It's so easy to train compared to the UK, so I love the area, I love the trails, the food, and the vibe is just nice and relaxed, so it's perfect.
I first started working with Matt when he was, I think, 15 years old. Will Longdon, the team manager, brought him into the team, and I was the team coach at that point, and Will said, can you start working with Matt as a youngster? And from there really we've gone from 15 years old and a juvenile downhill athlete to World Cup champion overall. I'm not a big fan of structured training as a junior. Lots of fun, learning the basics, a little bit on the road, a little bit off-road, a little bit on the rollers, introduction to some non-lifting gym stuff, good flexibility, and most important, fun at a junior age, where he got to be world champion. From that point as an elite, then we started to introduce gym work, more structured training, because I feel that if you top out as a junior, I mean there's a big gap to close to the best in the world.
My downhill bike and my trail bike, I use the same handlebar, the Pro Tharsis 3.5, and obviously on the downhill bike I run the direct mount stem. I feel like with the carbon bars, there's enough, they're stable enough, like there's enough strength, and they're stiff for when you're going fast through rough terrain, but they also have enough flex so you get enough feedback from the trail as well. I think if a bar's too stiff, then you struggle to get the feedback, so Pro have done a really good job to kind of find a balance between the two, and I really like the feeling. On all my bikes I use the Stealth off-road saddle. It just fits me really well. In the past I've tried a few different saddles, and the Stealth off-road seems to just kind of work with me really well, and I can go and do long training rides, and it's always comfortable, and especially on a camp like this where you're riding day after day after day, it's comfortable.
A big goal for Matt in 2021 is to chase that World Cup win. I think it was a blessing in disguise that he didn't actually do that. It's the next step forward for him. It's a good step, and excited to see if he can pull that off. In terms of what can I change for Matt into 2021, more motorbike time. He really loves riding his motorbike. I think it gets him away from the day job, and he has a lot of fun. Quite a lot of the downhillers go MX, but Matt really loves his track bike and his track days. I'd like to push more of that into his program, keep him fresh, keep him happy.
So the year started pretty good. Like, I had high hopes for my racing in 2020. I kind of came into the off season on a bit of a hard way, I guess. And my training went really well. Like, I stayed injury free and stayed healthy. I put a lot of work in, and obviously when we heard the news that the first World Cup was going to be cancelled, it was really disappointing. It turned out quickly that there's obviously bigger problems in the world than going bike racing, so I kept my head down, just used the time we had to work as hard as I could. So, me and Phil Dixon, my coach, we put a good program together for the summer, and I kept working, and then we finally went to go racing in Leogang in Austria for the World Champs, which was always a bit strange having World Champs as a first race of the year. It went pretty well for me. I was quite nervous going into the weekend because I felt like I hadn't raced for a long time, and I'd put a lot of work in. I didn't want to get to a race and feel like I'd done all this work and it hadn't really paid off. So I think I qualified top 10. I was 8th, so I was pretty happy with that, because going into the year I wanted to be top 10 and have a couple of podiums. So after the that first time run at a World Cup, I felt like I could relax. I felt like I was in the right place, and in better circumstances with a better run or whatever, I could challenge for podium. So that kind of relaxed me straight away. And then unfortunately I crashed on the final day in Leogang on the race. I think it was just one of them races. It turned out to be quite a special one, with a lot of riders going down. So but I took away what I needed from that race. It was unfortunate because up until that last wooded section, I felt like my splits were good. For sure I could have challenged for a medal. So yeah, I was really happy with my pace and how I was feeling on the bike. So I was full of confidence going to Maribor, the first World Cup round. I think in 2019 I struggled a little bit with being overconfident, and that's where the mistakes and the crashes came from, which led to injury and kind of the demise of my season in the second half. But this time around I really managed to keep a lid on it, from a practice day to a qualifying day to a race day, just getting on the bike and just allowing myself to just do it, not think about it too much or overthink it or get stressed, just try and ride as emotionless as I could, and it was really working for me. So I had a 4th and a 3rd at Maribor, and I left there 2nd in the overall, which, as I said earlier, I was kind of hoping for top 10. I thought that was definitely achievable, but at the same time a realistic goal for me. I think at this point in my career to say I was going to win an overall before the year is unrealistic, and it kind of sets you up to be disappointed. So I always try and keep very realistic goals. So then leaving Maribor with 2nd in the overall, I went to Lusa. We've done a lot of riding there over the last couple of years with Fox suspension testing. So I knew I could ride that track well. And then I got a second place in the first race and then a third. So it was a bit of a crazy last race. Like halfway through the race there was some rain, it changed the track quite a lot. So it was a difficult one, and it was hard to kind of keep your head in the game and try and ride for the championship at that point, because I'd taken over the leader's jersey in the first round at Loser. But for me, I didn't feel any pressure. I understand that I'm 21 years old, and I'll hopefully have plenty more chances to take an overall title. So, and what I was doing was enough. I was just looking after the single races, and those single races were looking after the championship. I felt like coming into that last round, I didn't need to change anything. I just need to go out the gate and ride my bike down the hill again. And it was crazy. Like I came across the line, and the only information I had before the run was from my team manager, and he was at the bottom of the hill, and he could obviously see that riders were going slower as the rain was coming down. So he said to me, the track looks like it's running slower. It could be a little bit slippy, but so just kind of go out the gate and feel it for yourself, and then push on as much as you feel comfortable with. So that's what I did really. I kind of tried to ride as smart as I could, push where I knew the dirt would still be pretty good, and where it was slippy, just take it a little bit easy. So when I come across the line with half the field riding in the dry, I didn't expect to be anywhere near the top really. I felt like I had a really good run, and but I didn't expect the time to be there. So yeah, that was really cool. And then I didn't really know at that point that I'd won the overall. So I was just so stoked, and like the emotion that you see on the replay of the race was like just pure emotion for coming across the line and having a good result again. So I was just super happy with that. And then I went over to my manager pretty much straight away, and he said, you know, that's it, you've done it, like you've won the overall. And then from that point I didn't know whether to like laugh or cry or like sit down or stand up. I was just like, the head just, it like fell off my shoulders is the only way to like kind of explain it. It was a crazy feeling, not really how I imagined it. I think there was a lot of shock as well, I guess being so young and kind of being an underdog. I don't think anyone really would have expected it before the season. So yeah, it's a pretty good feeling.
Here we are in Stellenbosch. This afternoon we're going to do a sprint session with Matt. So basic skill in downhill mountain bike racing. We're going to do 6 to 10 efforts. We're going to get some work in the lad and see him suffer. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, Matt! Up! Come on, Matt! All the way up! I think last year, the last couple of efforts, you were kind of ragdolling and treading water.
When I'm going up, I don't feel like my core's much stronger.
Yeah.
So I'm not just like wiggling,
you know,
trying to get
in your power transfer.
Yeah.
I think mentally, like the focus is less joking and chatting around. You're really, but mentally committing to your sessions really transfers. I mean, over 6 months it adds up, as we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah. And nothing stupid with it either. Just like you say, just getting the job done. Really.
Basics.
Yeah.
Repetition, getting the job done.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Set your shoulders first. Just take your hands off your balls, set your shoulders. Okay, good. We're going. This is going to be strongest session yet, yeah? Building on each one. Ready? Number 2, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, aggression, come on. Come on, Matt. Up, up. Come on, Matt. Up, up. Good lad. All the way. Was it a Sunday afternoon when he took the overall win? And I was actually at the stables with my daughter. She was riding the horse, and I had the Red Bull TV on the phone. It was a cool moment. I'd smelt going in the confidence and the shape he had, that he would be in the mix. Confidence is a big thing in sport and in downhill bike racing. He had one run to go. I spoke with the team manager, Will, before. It was the biggest run of his life. And I said, change nothing, keep him laughing. And I heard a little story that he said, the last thing he said to his mechanic before he went down the run was, the gin and tonics are on me tonight. It was a special moment for me to see him from a 15-year-old to get there. A nice kind of step forward each year. And a good reward really for his hard work that he'd put in.
especially nowadays, I guess as the sport is getting more and more professional, people younger and younger try and emulate what the pros do. You know, they get in the gym and they lift weights and stuff like that. And for me, that was never on the cards. I always just wanted to have fun, and that does sound cliche, but all through my youth riding and stuff, I just rode the bike a lot and just enjoyed riding the bike. And I think that is what's going to keep you in the sport for a long time. If you can go out and generally say that you enjoy it and you love doing it, then that's what's taken me to the top for sure. Like, of course it's hard at times, but being able to deal with that and still being able to get on the downhill bike at the weekend and go, yeah, it was worth it because I love doing this, then I think that's the mindset to be in.
Tell Matt how many kilometers you reckon you've got in you?
Like 40k.
Yeah,
Okay, there's plenty to go at then.
Yeah. And when was the fire again?
In 2015, it was one of those fires that started too late in the day and they couldn't control it. It ran right around the place and they had like a burn line. So we weren't allowed in a certain area and outside. From there, MTO Forestry actually got aboard, and we're now good partners and have a standing contract for maintenance.
We're doing some sprint work and some on the bike strength work today. There's 10 efforts, and I've picked it up.
Let's get on.
Okay, we're doing some sprint work, some on the bike strength work, working the accelerations out of the turn for the downhill bike.
Yep.
Okay, so this afternoon we're working on Matt's. So basic skill in mountain bike. Here we are in Stellenbosch. This afternoon we're going to do a sprint session with Matt. So basic skill in downhill mountain bike racing. We're going to do 6 to 10 efforts. We're going to get some work in the lad and see him suffer.